once again to bring out this word of the truth, okay? This word of the gospel of Yahweh, First of all, let's give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Ba'asham Rachal Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, pushing 100% of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh. And salutations to you sincere acting that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Okay, so what I wanted to start with today is remember a video that the other Malcolm did. I was watching his video while I was coming the way, on my way up here. So basically, okay, when is acting up again. So basically, what I was wanting to do, I just wanted to just go into that a little bit. So I'm on the 8th month right now, and I want to get the meaning of the word conspiracy. Okay, that's how I started with first, because the title of the lesson was con and basically the con and buzzwords, something along those lines. The way I was going into how he has changed a lot of the root meaning of words, in order to fit a certain narrative. Because what you have right now is that the simple act of being being a conspiracy theorist or believing in conspiracy theories, which basically is nothing, okay? It's just the idea of believing in some of the things that the government that what the government has hid from the people, okay? Like for example, the popular example they used to use is that what 9/11 was a hoax, or the moon landing was a hoax, or things like that. But in all actuality, it goes down to something as simple as things that are already improving, like the leaked child documents, that the U.S. Navy has revealed. All these things that have been proven to be true, but what they are doing now is using this whole domestic terrorist act, domestic terrorist bill to lump all these conspiracy theories, the truthers, Hebrew Israelites together, calling them what domestic terrorists, because they don't believe in the what that I'm looking for. Okay, they don't believe in the narrative. They don't believe the narrative. Okay, because they are asking questions. They're trying to understand what is actually going on, and of course, even more so, they're exposing the lies. They're bringing out truth in one form or another. Okay, so this is now the ethic for the word conspiracy. And what you see here is another newspeak definition of conspiracy. Okay, which is the plotting of evil, unlawful design, a combination of persons for an evil purpose, which in all actuality is not the case, okay? Because when the actual meaning of the word conspiracy, first of all, broken into two words, and the elder and even the apostles go into this, and the meaning of the word conspiracy is what it just means with breathing, or that's what it means. The etym, the original truth of the word, with breathing, or other words, to breathe together, to act together. That's basically what that word means. Meaning what our conspiracy is nothing that is evil, okay? Not something that is wicked. It's just neutral, okay? Because you can conspire to do good as well as conspire to do evil, okay? It's all at the end of the day, it all boils down to what? Planning or plotting to do something. And of course, that doesn't make it automatically evil, okay? Just because you have a plot in your mind, or you conspire to do something, doesn't make it automatically evil. But this is what Israel has done, because the blanket terminology for all these people that they believe in what, so they gave them a blanket terminology, conspiracy theories. Now they made anything that is considered a conspiracy, they made it now wicked or evil, when that's not actually the case, okay? Because you do have conspiracy, you do have some conspiracies that don't put people in negative light, okay? You have some conspiracies that people speak about that are just neutral, that doesn't have any. I isn't talking about the government plotting to kill you or do any other weak thing to you. It's just neutral. Like for example, okay, the Hebrew Israelites. This is what this is. This truth that I was speaking out here is a conspiracy as well. Because what, before I came here, I conspired to do it. I plotted where I would do the lesson. I've had some thoughts of what I would speak about in my mind. Before I came here. That's what conspiracy. And it was a conspiracy for good. Because what am I doing? I'm pushing this word, okay? Pushing the word of prophecy, bringing out understanding, bringing out edification through the spirit and power of the Most High and His Son. Which is all words, right hand, which is all words, that all for good, okay? Now, going on, let me continue reading. Now, Anglo-French conspiracy, Old French conspiracy, conspiracy plots, and from the Latin conspirationem, agreement, union, unanimity, noun of action from past participle, system of conspirare, to agree, unite, plot, literally to breathe together. That's exactly what the word means. Okay, with breathing, to breathe together. But the main meaning of the word is to come together to plot something, to come together to plot out something. Okay, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what the conspiracy is. And a conspiracy theory is just what? Let me get that word as well. Let me get the definition. Let me just get theory first, so I want get the words separate. Let's get a better understanding concerning them. Okay, conspiracy and theory. Put them together and get what conspiracy theory, which of course is just what. So let me get that. And I see the etymology for the word theory. Conception, mental scheme, from the Latin theoria, and from the Greek theoria. Contemplation, speculation, a looking at, viewing, a sight, show, spectacle, things looked at. Okay, to consider, to speculate, and to look. Okay, which of the word theory goes back to also theater, which is a view. Another word theory means is to view, to perceive, okay, to see. So what the alright, so now let me see if I can get the I think I should bring it. I can afford to bring it a bit closer. Now, I don't want to shout. I don't. Okay, my throat isn't really all there, so I don't want to scream too loud. With this lesson. Okay, so now I'm going to try and get the conspiracy theory. Yeah. There's no word like there's no word like conspiracy theory. But basically, what that word is what we get the word conspiracy, which means to conspire, to breathe together, okay, to plot together. And we can have the word theory, which basically means to see, to perceive. I know that word conspiracy theory is. Let me see if I can get the definition and go to a different source for the definition, okay. Here. Conspiracy theory. A hypothesis alleging that the members of a coordinated group are and or were secretly working together to commit illegal or wrongful actions, including attempting to hide the existence of the group and its activities. In notable cases, the hypothesis contradicts the mainstream explanation for historical or current events. And the second, hypothetical speculation that is commonly considered untrue or outlandish, and that is basically what he wants you to believe that the conspiracy theories are. But all it is just that it's just what that you believe, or rather or rather it's a theory, okay. You believe, you perceive that what some people you perceive that people are plotting together, okay. You perceive that people are you just you perceive, you believe, okay, because a theory is what something that is something that is believed, okay. It's not an actual fact. So you believe that people are that some people are plotting together, okay. Right. So if you see that what and it doesn't even have to be some grand government scheme, okay. It can be something as small as when you just see two people and you're talking about something and you think that okay that they might be talking about you. That right there, you believe that they're conspiring together, concerning you, whether it's against or for you, they are plotting together, whether they're directly plotting together concerning you. Okay, so that is what and you believe in your mind, you perceive, you see them together and you believe that that's what is happening. That's a conspiracy theory right there. Okay, it doesn't have to be that there doesn't have to be people coming together talking about oh, these people are doing this, the elites are doing this, the government is doing that, before it's actually a conspiracy theory. This that's what they have completely changed and rebranded the word to make it seem as though a conspiracy theory is a group of people that are always thinking that the government is doing something against them, that always believe that the government is plotting this or that or this, which of course some of these ideas the ideas that you believe that the government is plotting this or that might be true in some cases, but majority of these conspiracy theories are actually false, okay. Majority of the conspiracy theory, the majority of these conspiracy theory thing, they're actually wrong. But The main fact is the truth that there are actually conspiracies going on there. That people, the elites, the higher ups are conspiring together. They are conspiring with each other, okay? Because we know for a fact that this is true, okay? Because when you see that the powers that be, the rulers, they conspire together, secretly, behind closed doors. What do you think your UN Council meetings are? What do you think your presidential when the US president goes and meets with another world leader? What do you think that is? That's conspiring together secretly, okay? Of course, they have cameras and all that up, most of these UN Council meetings, for the most part. What about when the president is in his bunker, speaking with his Secretary of Defense and the like? What about all these confidential meetings that aren't allowed to be seen in public? Okay, what about all these meetings that are done in the secret and then are declassified? Years later, after whatever they have conspired to do, have already has already done their damage, or has already done their damage. And of course, a good example would be the crack epidemic. There was this journalist, Gary Webb. And they actually did a whole movie about it. The guy that did Hawkeye in Avengers, he did a whole movie about it, and that was based off a true story. Because this Gary Webb actually existed, okay, and he spent, he risked his career, his marriage, everything to expose that, okay, these devils, starting from the top, the president, the elite banking families, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and then of course the president at the time, Ronald Reagan. He was actively and knowingly, okay, even the movie, this series. So I try to remember the series. It was based on California. Compton. This series about they did a series. They did a new series about the crack epidemic. I've forgotten what the name is. So and I'm actually watching the season 1 and season 2. I actually enjoyed this. And I've forgotten what the name is. But there are actually movies out there that they pick this that the CIA was involved. Okay, the FBI were involved. All these different people, they were involved in shipping drugs. Okay. South America, from Northern Kingdom all the way to Babylon, and spreading it out in the so-called black communities. And you also had some it's okay. We also had some sellouts in our communities that were involved in all these things as well, okay? That's showing you that it's not entirely inaccurate to see that, that there might be something going on in the background, okay? There might be something that's happening behind closed doors that we should be worried, that people should be worried about, which is basically the crux or the basis of all these conspiracy theories, which is that what? The people that are above you, the people that have authority over the laws and over the laws and the bills that govern your daily life, they might be plotting secretly against you, because that is what we see, okay, because that is perfectly normal, okay, perfectly okay. You can have examples even in the scriptures, okay, of leaders conspiring together to create new laws for the people, okay, of leaders conspiring together against or even for the welfare of the people, okay. Like for example, now the one okay, you should already know that the principles I'm going to bring out concerning this whole conspiracy theory matter is ones that are concerning our people, okay, which is what you see all these heathens, okay, all these heathen, during the time of their rulership, the Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Greeks and the Romans, and like they always conspire against our people, okay. They always bring up all these legislations, all these bills, against our people for their destruction, just like the crack epidemic, okay, just like what it does up until this day, okay, with the prison system, okay, with the unlawful sentencing of Jake, okay, with the unlawful policing of Jake. That's why you have so much problem with the police right now in Babylon, because all these things all go back to what, these nations, they are always conspiring against us. And the person that I've been waiting to bring out, let me just bring it out right now. Look at Psalms 83. And I'll start from verse 1. Alright, Psalms 83 verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. So like, I have a really bad case of sore throat right now. I can't even so I can't even speak very loudly, so you have to bear with me for that, okay? Psalms 83 verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cast them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That is the case right there. Okay, that's what all these nations come together to do. Knowing that when they meet together, when they congregate, they keep on saying the same thing. Okay, that these people, they're going into the apocrypha. That these people, the Israelites, they are not for our turn. Okay, that our focus should be how to eradicate them, because that's what all the nations agree upon. Okay, that's us, the Israelites, should remain at the bottom. That's a conspiracy right there. The conspiring that these nations have a hand in our captivity, in our downfall, in keeping us at the bottom right now. Okay, because what people would say that, oh, okay, Esau might be our main enemy. What about this nation? What about the other nation? What about the Hamites? What about the Ishmaelites? All of them are together against us, because you had Hamites. Okay, and to this day you still have Hamites. North Africa, Libya, what are they? They are Hamites. Okay, you still have them selling, our people, Jakes, especially West African Jakes, Nigerians, Ivorians, okay, Senegalese, West African Jakes into slavery, into captivity up to this day. And what is Esau doing against it? What are these? What's Jehovah going to do against it? Is he not the leader of the free world? I thought Babylon was against slavery. Well, they're only against it with well, they're not against any slavery as long as it has to do with the Hebrew Israelites, because what you have in your prison system, you have the exact same thing going on in these prison systems. Where you have these, you have these men that, and majority of them are wrongfully accused, because it is ridiculous. Okay, the amount of Jake that gets put in prison, okay, on false charges, okay, on trumped up charges. You have a Jake that sells that I was caught with a little bit of marijuana in possession, and then they put him 30 years in prison. If I have a Jake that all he did was, he broke into a person's house, burglary, theft, and then send him 50 years in prison. They always set all these total charges against you. You have a Jake that does jailwalking, and they send him to jail. They send him to jail for 10 years, 20 years on trumped up charges. Because you see, and these police, they come and arrest him. They say that he was resisting arrest, assaulting an officer, piling upon the position of a weapon, piling upon it. Position of drugs, like the Chappelle joke, just sprinkle it to crack on him and it will be okay. That's these things are all reality. It's happening right now, and because this is all man. This is all Esau. Little tricks, little schemes, right? Because we already know how Esau works, You already know how Esau works when he establishes mischief as law. Okay, he makes he makes laws that he makes laws that are wicked. Okay, basically he makes laws that are deceitful. Okay, that are wicked, because like for example now talk about how what the Declaration of Declaration of Independence. Okay, the Emancipation Proclamation. These are all laws based off of what? Unrighteousness, wickedness, right? Deceit. Because what does that tell you? It tells you in the Declaration of Independence that America would be a free country. But throughout but what first 300 to 400 years of America's independence, that Declaration of Independence being written, you still had slaves. You still had slaves, because what? When you talk about a free country of free men, they're talking about what? Edomites. They're not talking about you Israelites, because they consider you Israelites the refuse of a man. They made you legally not human beings. Okay, legally you weren't even human beings. All your what? So those laws could only apply to Edomites. The same thing to this day, because there hasn't been a revision of any constitution that has been written. Okay, all the constitutions are still as they are. Of course, you have some bills or some laws here and there that they sign, deceitful, just to make it seem as though they are trying to make progress, but that's not the case. Okay, because he isn't interested in giving you Jakes any form of freedom or liberty in his kingdom. That's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy right there, and it can be proven easily by looking at all these things by yourself. Because here I am. There was 1,000, I don't know how many miles away from Babylon, and I can easily look up all these things and see it for myself. Okay. But what we're focusing on is not even right the conspiracy matter, but what he has done with his laws. Okay. How Esau, has used this new speak. Okay. So I didn't get that. Can you use this new speak? And I'm going to get the definition of not the definition of new speak, but the definition of buzzword. I'm going to use I think I will use this thing, Urban Dictionary. So okay, I'm guessing this. Alright. Yeah, I don't see any good definition in Urban Dictionary. So let me just use the Webster, the Webster definition. Alright. So this is the Webster definition for the word buzzword, and it's still loading, of course. Right, this is it here. The Merriam-Webster definition for the word buzzword, and it reads: an important sounding, usually technical word or phrase, often of little meaning, used chiefly to impress laymen. And two, a voguish word or phrase. Alright, that's the that's basically what that's basically what that word buzzword means. What an important sounding word or phrase used to impress laymen. So what they do now is they make they change the meaning of these words and they turn them into what buzzwords. So that whenever they use these terms, you start to associate the whatever these terms are being used with that exact thing. So now the Hebrew Israelites are being associated with what the buzzword of black Hebrew Israelites, which is being associated with the buzzword of black supremacists, domestic terrorists, which of course there has never been any act of terror committed by Hebrew Israelites, because that is exactly what we are. We are the Hebrew Israelites, okay? We have no affiliation with any black Hebrew Israelite or any black consciousness or military groups, okay? Because we don't preach a gospel of because we already preach a gospel of preaching the gospel of peace. And how is it a gospel of peace? Because what? We do not take up arms or fight against anybody. That is against our doctrine. That is against everything that we believe, okay? Well, you know what? We don't believe in using weapons. We don't believe we don't believe in using weapons. We don't believe in fighting against anybody. So let me get this preset very quickly. So okay, my hands are very sweaty today. So let me get this preset very quickly. Alright. So this book of 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4, and it reads: for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Alright, so I want to get the blue letter for the word carnal first and foremost, just to expand in that understanding. Sarkikos, okay? The word carnal is G4559, sarkikos. So basically what alright, so basically and it was fleshly, carnal, having the nature of flesh, that is under the control of animal appetites, governed by mere human nature, not the spirit of God, okay? Pertaining of the flesh. I think right there that the weapons of our warfare, okay, 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4, and the weapons of our warfare are not carnal but spiritual. In other words, we don't take up physical weapons, okay? We don't take up any fleshly weapons, no guns, no swords, no bombs, no nothing, okay? All we do is use this word right here. This is our weapon right here, okay? And once again, another preset, the book of Hebrews. Let me get that one as well. Alright, this is our weapon right here. You see, because you see what Israel is trying to do is they're trying to attribute us to terrorists, basically, trying to attribute us to black militia group, trying to attribute us to people like the Proud Boys, seeing that we are like the dark skin or black version of the Proud Boy. That's why they give us that name, Black Hebrews, like they're trying to make it seem as though we are all dark flesh people. That's why whenever they are scrolling through a news article and they see Black Hebrew Israelites, even though the article even though they show you a picture of it and you see Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom together, you see Negro, you see Latino, you even see Edomite looking jakes among them pushing this word. All they will see are what so-called niggas, and all they see are so-called black people. Because once they see that terminology right there, that's a buzzword, and a cognitive dissonance, it kicks in, and the thing that they now see are niggas. The thing that they see are so-called black people, and now see that they are all black Hebrew Israelites, they are all black, they are all this and all that. But that's not the case, okay? Because We do not associate ourselves with any color. What we associate ourselves with is a nationality according to the scriptures, okay? The Hebrew Israelites, all right? Yasharallah, which is what the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is what we tell you that if you are a descendant of that line, if you believe, okay, through spirit and through faith, that you are a descendant of the black, that you are a descendant of, like I said, see black Hebrew Israelites, that starts a slip of tongue. Well, I was saying, if you believe that you are a Hebrew Israelite, if you believe that you, okay, that this word, you know, we are pushing out here is for you, and it's speaking to you directly, okay, that means that you might truly be an Israelite, okay, you might just be, okay, the son of Jacob. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you are Chinese, it doesn't matter if you are, okay, Italian, it doesn't matter if you are Greek, it doesn't matter if you are German, it doesn't matter what race of people that you are, as long as this word speaks to you, man, that's all that matters, okay? So now, the book of Hebrews chapter 4 verse 2, and it reads, "For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and to the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart." That is plain right there. It tells you exactly what this word does, okay? This is the only weapon that we're dealing with, this is the only sword that we're dealing with. Okay, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal but spiritual, because our sword is the word of the Most High, okay? Go into Ephesians chapter 6 and you see exactly what I'm talking about. The way you put on the whole armor of righteousness, it tells you that the sword that you use is the word of God, meaning that what? The only weapon that he should ever find you with as a Hebrew Israelite, you know, of course, is this right here, okay? That's the only weapon that you will need in this whole spirit, you know, in this battle that we're fighting, because we're not fighting a carnal battle, okay? What we're fighting is a spiritual battle, okay? Okay, we're bring down strongholds with this right here. This is giving okay, this word, pushing this word, is giving Esau more sleepless nights than, you know, seeing a couple of jakes going to the gun range and shooting guns, organizing themselves in black militia. Okay, the NFAC J Grandmaster, you know, that is little group right there, it's not causing Esau any problems. They're laughing at you dumbass niggas for even believing in that madness, okay? But this right here, okay, seeing Israelites out here with the scriptures, pushing this word in our garments, coming back into this truth, you know, bringing out these scriptures and condemning you devils. That's giving the elite sleepless nights right there, because they're having dreams about these things, you know, they see okay, the top elders, the top apostles, they can see them in their dreams, giving them hell, man. They can already, Esau can already see, you know, they kind of, you know, especially these elites, man, they can already, you know, they're already seeing what's going to become of them in the kingdom. They're already seeing, you know, them going into captivity. You know, these dreams are already happening to them. Them seeing Yahushai and seeing the angels and seeing the chariots, they're already seeing all these things, because the what does the book of Joel chapter 2 say? It says that the Most High will pour out his spirit on all flesh, okay, including the elites, okay. So if you have the apostles, you know, they have dreams as well, you know, because you have some Akim in this truth that have more dreams than others. Like me, for example, I don't really get dreams like that, but I still get spiritual dreams, you know, from time to time. But you know, it's just that I don't believe that I was speaking about, because they aren't really that big of a deal. You know, they aren't really that mad, you know, that greatly spiritual, okay. But as the apostles, they also have dreams as well. You know, even though they do much videos about them. I have Akim that constantly get dreams about these things, so they have to do videos about it. Okay, but everybody is having these dreams, man. Everybody, whether they speak about it or not, you know, that's my personal belief. That's just me speaking as a man. Everybody on this earth is having these spiritual dreams. That's just what I believe, man. Alright? Especially the elites, you know, because you know that there will be some members of the elites that are constantly having dreams about the kingdom, and constantly having dreams about them being put in captivity. Because you have the same thing going on right now here with you hopefully elect, okay, with the men of the Lord. So you definitely have the same thing on the other side, on the left hand side as well, okay? So that's why he's cracking down so hard on anything that even looks remotely like the truth, you know, because you know you have so many acting that came into this thing, right, from conspiracy theories. You have so many acting that came into this thing, right, from watching Twitter videos, watching men like, alright, what's this guy's name again? Alex Jones. Okay, watching men, you know, watching men like that from InfoWars, because you had a controversy with InfoWars a while back about the Charleston shooting, I believe. You know, basically a bunch of you know, I don't know whether they were brothers, but they were claimed to be Hebrew Israelites. We're talking about, you know, I believe it was a Charleston boarding school. how those Edomites are going into captivity, they are going to get killed, you know. They brought out I think they brought out the book of Psalms, you know, happy shall he be that taketh a little one and dasheth them. What's up, bro?
My injector capacity. You don't shoot them.
Bro, probably was I saw
I want to enter now. Make a picture now.
no video I did here, just no video I did here. Yeah.
Me I see there. I see you no back.
I don't follow them.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, it's the reason I don't want to go out to the main streets then. But you see, anyway, Shad, you know, you just get this kind of things once in a while. Okay, but anyway, the book of Psalm 137 and verse 8, and it reads, O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall it be that one that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall it be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. That's basically what they read, okay, and they said that word that this means that we're advocating, okay, the murdering of those people, and of course those actually handle it very well, okay, but the focus is this, okay, that this is how they paint us. They paint us as this violent group that's trying to slaughter and erase all white people, you know. Even though it's constantly telling you that Edomites are not only restricted to the so-called white man, okay, they are also, you know, it's because it's not a color, okay, it is a nationality. And what nationality means is what? NATO, the Italian, born. It is who you are born to, it is who you are born by. Your father, your blood and according to your father, okay? Your pedigree, which is the same thing, means what? Your pedigree is the same thing. It's basically a document showing your birth line, okay? You go back to God, who you go back to. If you go back to Israel and Edomites, if you go back to Jacob, you're an Israelite, no matter what you look like. But of course, you know, he isn't going to put that one in. He's going to put what? You know, when the Akema in the heat of, the spirit is hot on them, and in the heat of, you know, their edification. I'm talking about you so white people are going to get completely destroyed. They're going to clip that part out. And they're going to put it out there to show you that, and, you know, make it seem as though you're just a bunch of violence. You are just a bunch of violent so-called black people that just want that was advocating for what the destruction of the so-called, you know, white race, which is not what we stand for at all. But we don't give a damn about your white, black, racial designation by color line, because at the end of the day, that is nothing, okay? Even people are starting to wake up to the fact that this whole white or black thing doesn't mean anything. Because what you have is what? Because you have so many, you have even dark African as dark as me that have, that are so-called white, that are giving that grace because of what? Because because of what? All these things that Esau uses this current system, okay, his doctrines, as scripture says, that all of these are what? It's just folly, okay? It's wickedness, it is deceit. Alright, and I want to bring out this precept as well, you know, so that what like I was talking about before, he frameth mischief by law. He frameth mischief by law, okay? He frameth mischief for law. Let me get that. And it's the book of Psalm 94, verse 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn innocent blood. That is a conspiracy right there once again, showing that what? They are only after the Israelites, specifically, okay, the hopeful elect, you know. So that's why it was in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. I believe that is the 76th, around the 70th verse. It tells you that there shall be a great insurrection in all these cities, and this is speaking mostly of Babylon the Great right now, okay, but there shall be a great insurrection in all these cities against those that fear the most, that fear Yahweh or Shai. They shall be like madmen sparing none. That's not against you Christians, okay? Because you know, the plantation Christianity, they think that, oh, they're going to persecute you. No, okay? Esau isn't going to persecute anybody that is worshiping him, the beast and his image, right? Because one of the images of this beast is generally Borgia. You know, that's so-called white boy God and white boy Jesus that you Christians love so much. So you're already on track to take the vaccine. You're already on track to take the microchip. So there's nothing, you know, you Christians, you're not even a problem, okay? You have the Bible being banned, of course, okay, because the scripture has the actual truth in it. But Christianity as a whole will still continue to operate under what under new laws, just like Judaism, where they have the Torah, they have the Kabbalah, they have all these books that are written by men. They have the Babylonian Talmud. The same thing will happen along the line in Great Christianity. Once the Bible has been banned, they have their other spiritual books that they go to, which of course will have the laws, the new Christian law. This is basically what the nonsense that's going on right now. At that Aleister Crowley's Thelema. I don't know. I don't really have. There's not really a blank thing about it, but what it says that what let love be the whole of the law. Love. How does it go? Do as thou wilt. That shall be the whole of the law. Do as thou wilt. Love and all that cool nonsense, which basically of what what's what I'm looking for? It messes up the actual word of the scripture, which is what that you should love the Most High and keep His commandments. Okay, that the Most High is the love right there. Okay, so when you talk about love, you're talking about loving according to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You're talking about treating people according to the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's exactly what love means. That is the true meaning of love right there. Treating people according to the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I wish if you do that, that's love, because what do you have in the world right now? You have wicked ass chicks that would willingly throw their own brethren, okay, their own sisters. You saw the other video, man. These jakes that are killing their family members, okay? You see what is going on in the world. You see the prophecy of Matthew 24. I believe that is Matthew 24 verse 20, but I might be wrong, Where it says that what? Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You see these things going on right now, people are falling out of that love because what? They are, because they have been separated from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, especially our people, the Israelites. They no longer have that love, they no longer have love anymore. Because they were separated from love, which is what the Most High, okay? Because they were separated from the Most High, because of their iniquities separated them from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Which of course the scriptures will tell you that your iniquities separate you from the Most High. Because of your iniquities, you have been severed from from the Most High and His Son, from the understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And because you have been separated from them now, you lose that love, okay? You lose that love, you lose that love, the love that you have for your neighbor, the love that you have for the Most High and His commandments. You lose everything. And now what do? You perform all kinds of wickedness against your neighbor. Okay, something as little as coveting his property, because that's wickedness. That's wickedness against your neighbor. When you are coveting after what is rightfully his, it's you to be content with what is yours. You are looking at what your fellow Israelite has. You are looking at what your brother has. You are coveting after, which what leads to what? It leads to loss. It leads to you harming your neighbor in order to get that property, or theft, which is stealing from your neighbor. And of course, when I use the word neighbor, I use it in the context, okay, with the understanding that we're speaking of Hebrew Israelites, okay. So I think we're only Israelites, because even the scripture says that what your neighbors are Israelites, okay. If your fellow Hebrew man or your fellow Hebrew woman, which are basically the Israelites, okay, because the laws concerning how we deal with our people are different from the laws concerning how we deal with the heathen, okay. But of course, okay, you can even use it even among the heathen, because we are still meant to deal with the heathen lawfully, okay. Even though they are not Israelites, we are still supposed to deal with them lawfully. Alright, so even taking from a heathen, theft from a heathen, performing wickedness against the heathen is still wickedness, alright. It doesn't mean that because they are heathen, it doesn't mean that that you can do whatever you feel like doing to them, okay. We are just the people of order. Another that will lead to is chaos, and the scripture says the Most High is not a God of chaos. Right? But he isn't going to put all this in his news. He isn't going to put all us in the news. He's not going to talk about having an interview with a so-called, one of the so-called, because this is what they call them, black Hebrew Israelites. We're going to talk about having interviews with one of the Akim and the highways or the byways, because they already knows what will come out of it. We already know what we're going to talk about. We're not going to change anything about it. We're going to just speak about the downfall and the destruction of this kingdom. You devils are going out, man. That's why I've already mentioned this before last week. That's why you see IOIC and ISCPK that they are dissociating themselves, okay? Associating themselves with that term or that name Hebrew Israelite, because they understand the connotation that name carries right now. Basically, you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're a domestic terrorist, straight up, okay? Even if he refuses to admit it, there are already FBI hearings about this black supremacy groups, and guess what? GMS, the name Great Millstone is right there, okay? The name of the Great Millstone is right there, okay? Sikari, all these other groups that call themselves Hebrew Israelites, okay, they are right there, and they're under the blanket name Black Hebrew Israelites, so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, and that's why IOIC, ISCPK, they're not calling themselves Hebrew Israelites anymore. You see, Bishop Nathaniel, he said that they are no longer Hebrew Israelites. Dissociating from that name. The ISCPK, they now call themselves Black Hispanic and Native Americans. Dissociating from that name, because they already know what it means. They know that Esau is soon going to come down without wrath, man, without sword, without insurrection against the so-called Hebrew Israelites. You know that they're soon going to start gathering the Hebrew Israelites up and putting them in these camps, man, because it's already happening, okay? People are already being thrown into these HEMA camps. Of course, it's mostly illegal immigrants and non-US citizens. But how long before Esau turns his fangs onto the US citizens? And a lot of people are already seeing this. A lot of Edomites are seeing these things happening. That's why you see these Edomite militia groups like the Proud Boys come up. That's why you see the march on the Capitol, even though that was all set up. But you still have so many Edomites that are all gung-ho supporting that, because they so okay, this is what I expected to happen. That's why you see so many coups going on right now. That's why you see so many people rebelling against their government. The newest one was what? Myanmar. You saw the current coup happening in that country right now. I see it all over the news, okay? I'm showing you images of it happening. That's why these things are all happening. Because there's about to be a great shift of power. The whole earth can sense it. The whole earth is being shaken up right now, because there's about to be a great, a mighty shift of power like never been seen, like never seen before. In the whole earth, everybody is noticing it. Okay. So it's so adamant. Using every tool at his disposal. Okay. And we know the only tool at the devil's disposal is what? Their lies and their deceits, okay? Their trickery, their witchcraft, their normal Edomite craft. That is the only tool at their disposal, to use that wickedness, that forked tongue, which basically allows them to what? To double speak, That's another thing that Esau likes to use, his double speak, okay? He's sensationalizing, which that word sensationalizing just means that what? He's making something seem much worse than it actually is, okay? He's buffing it up like the C19 right now. This is a prime example of sensationalizing, because what you have is something that isn't even really that infectious. Okay, I mean, it isn't that deadly, okay? It isn't even actually that infectious, okay? Because if it was, you would see, because if it was, okay, you would have more people actually being infected by it than actually being infected right now. You see, all it's doing is sensationalism. That's why every time you go on the news, all you're hearing about is the C19. This is happening to the C19. That is happening with the C19. And on the other hand, it now makes things sound less dangerous than they actually are. Like, for example, this is a good example to use the abortion, this whole madness of abortion. What do you see right now in Argentina? They are just celebrating how women are now free to abort babies and babies. And this is what is being celebrated in this kingdom. And they still think that this kingdom is worth living in, where a whole nation has for millions upon millions of women celebrating the fact that they can now kill their children in their wombs. Alright? Especially Israelite women, because Argentina, if I'm not mistaken, Argentina should be Hold on. Let me check the top charge chart real quick. Slovakia. If I'm not mistaken, Argentina should be mm, Naftali. Argentina to Cuba should be Naftali, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have these Israelites celebrating that they can now kill their children in their wombs, sacrifice them to Molech, because that's all their abortion system is. Okay. Just a new way of sacrificing your children to that fire. They sacrifice your children to Molech. Okay. No, this is just something that it makes you wonder, man. How the hell did we get here? This is all part of Esau's wickedness, and this is all part of. This is why we talk about Esau conspiracy. This is what Esau had planned from the beginning, and this is how backwards, how destroyed, how defiled this world is right now. And of course, you should know that Allah Yahushua, he warned us of these things happening, man. That's what the book of Matthew 24 is all about. That's what the book of Acts chapter 1, I believe, and the whole book of Revelation, it was all what a warning from our Lord Yahushua, that all these things would happen in the latter days, in the last days, and you will see all kinds of wickedness like this. Okay, iniquity shall abound, love of many waxing cold. That's what this is speaking about. This is a wicked and unrighteous world that we're living in right now, and it has to be taken out, and it has to be destroyed. Come on, slide up. So okay, has to be ready. This phone doesn't want to slide up. How am I supposed to get this information right now? You want to start the phone. Just get to the let's also restart the phone. So I don't have to use the Bible. So I'll just have to use the manual Bible, just to get this preset I'm trying to get right now, okay? My throat is giving me that problem. Anyhow, sure. Don't have to worry about throat problems. Don't have to worry about sore throat problems and throat problems in the kingdom. Hey, Braxton, I'll try for that. Anyway. Alright. So the book of Luke 24 verse. I'll start on verse 44. Okay, so Luke 24 verse 44. Luke 24 verse 44. And he reads, and he said unto them, and he is speaking of Yahushua, these are the words which I speak unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which are written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. Okay, so what I'm trying to get is basically that, and I'm going to get that precept as well, but Allah Yahushua, okay, I think it's exactly that Allah Yahushua did. He went precept upon precept, which we talk about in the New Testament. And the New Testament is only simply a fulfillment of the prophecies that were in the Old Testament. That's why you always hear, that's why you always see the apostles, okay, you always see Yahushua, right, talk about how it is written, okay. The prophet Isaiah, the prophet Jeremiah, the prophet Daniel, the prophet Zechariah is said in his own writings, okay, in his own book, that this will happen or that will happen. This is all what because so okay, because Yahushua had an understanding that Yahushua was trying to understand it, and we are had an understanding that, okay, the Old Testament spoke of Yahushua even before the New Testament. The New Testament was Yahushua fulfilling the words that were spoken of in the Old Testament. So the whole book is one, okay? There's no Old Testament and there's no New Testament because, all right, let me go to the etymology of that word testament, okay? Let me just do that real quick. Since I won't lock my phone anymore, I'll leave it open. Hopefully it won't touch too much. Alright, so I'm going to get the definition of the word testament right now. And another testament is the word testimony, which means what? You know, goes back to testes, which is your ball sack. Alright? So, let's type in testament. And what is what testament means is what? Witness, okay? You go back to the word testis, right? Not ball sack, but there's a testis which means testify, like testify, which means to witness, okay? So the Old and New Testament is, so what the Testament means is what? Right, let me get this right now. Last will disposing of property, from Latin testamentum, a last will, publication of a will. Okay, from testare, to make a will and be witness. Okay, so what testament, what means that is what? The will. So they don't give they don't have an exact, there's not an exact translation for the word testament, but it has to do, it goes back to what? It goes back to the word testis, which is basically a witness. Right, so that's what the Old and New Testament entails. Right, it is still one book. There's nothing separating them except for timeline. Alright, and of course the Apocrypha, which the word Apocrypha means was hidden. Joining them all together, you're joining them all together because they are all a single book, okay? The Old Testament is speaking of the time before the Greco-Roman captivity, which means that what? Just the testimony of from the beginning up until the second beast, the Medo-Persian Empire. The Apocrypha to the New Testament speaking about what? From the time of the from the time of the Greco-Roman Empire, because you know that the Apocrypha, the Apocrypha continues in the Medo-Persian Empire with the book of Esdras, first and second Esdras, and jumping all the way down to with the book of first and second Maccabees. Also has wisdom of Solomon inside it, but it's actually just a link up between the Old Testament. It's just a link up for the Old Testament and the New Testament. And the New Testament being what? The time of the Greco-Roman, the time of the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire up until now. Because we are still living in the time of the New Testament, okay? We are still living in the times of the New Testament because until all is fulfilled, guess what? All these words, even we are still living in the time of the Old Testament as well, because there are still some futuristic prophecies. Like for example, a perfect example would be Isaiah 63, which of course there's no arguments here, okay? Even these Edomite scholars, plantation Christian scholars, they also believe that Isaiah 63 is a future prophecy. It has not happened yet, okay? So we are still living in that time, alright? So we are still living in the time of the old, in time that these scriptures speak about. Nothing has been fulfilled. Not all this, all the prophecies are not yet been fulfilled. So we are still living in these times, okay? So this book of so okay, I have to go back. Luke 24. I think it's 24. So okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Like I got the wrong precepts. You know, to be holding this phone and doing all these things, it's very difficult for me. Alright, so this is the book of Luke 24, verse 27, and it reads, "And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expanded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself." That is basically it. Yahweh was showing, okay, in the scriptures, okay, in the scriptures, all the prophecies concerning him, you know, from Isaiah the 53rd chapter, I believe, alright, to Isaiah 61, to Isaiah 63, okay, Isaiah chapter 9, because there's actually some prophecy concerning him in Isaiah chapter 9. Of course, in the book of Jeremiah, and all the prophecies, okay, because even from Abraham, okay, from Abraham up until, from Abraham up until John the Baptist, they all prophesied of Yahweh Shai, because, let me get that precept right quick, because the first prophecy, like, even in the Apocrypha, of Yahweh Shai is spoken about in the Apocrypha, okay, in the book of Second Ezra, I believe, the Most I was telling the prophet Ezra about his son Yahweh Shai. So the first one I'll get is this one I'll get is in the Old Testament, concerning Abraham first. Okay, let me go down to it. Genesis 22, let me go down to it. Here it is. So in the book of Genesis 22, and I'll start from verse 16. And, wait, okay, Sakia, Genesis 22, verse 15, I'll start from verse 15. "And the angel of Yahweh called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time, and said, By myself have I sworn, saith Yahweh, for because thou hast done this thing, and hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, as in blessing I will bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And thy seed shall possess the gates of his enemies. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice." That's basically it. Okay, that prophecy speaks about what? Yahweh Shai coming up and what? Ruling over these heathen in righteousness, okay? Ruling over the whole earth in righteousness, because what is speaking about, it doesn't speak about, everybody is saved in it's not talking about everybody being saved in Yahweh Shai, okay? Because of course at the end of the day, if you want to, you can actually see it in that way. But the people that are actually going to be saved, okay, in the context that the Christians use, which is what? The people who our Lord Yahweh Shai died for. Okay, the people who our Lord Yahweh Shai died for their sins are the Israelites. But at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is coming back to what? To put the earth in order. And to bless the whole earth with his coming and his rulership. Because we're living under Yahweh Shai's rulership. We're living under the rule of the Israelites, okay? The kingdom of our Lord Yahweh Shai is going to be a blessing, okay? And nobody's going to argue that. Yahweh Shai is coming back to what? To bring that blessing, to bring a blessing upon the earth by destroying and taking these devils out of power, okay? Alright, so continuing on, let me get to that precepts. What I also wanted to talk about was how Yahweh Shai went to upon precepts, showing them that was because the Israelites already knew about the Messiah. They knew about the Hamashiach who was coming because of what? they read the Old Testament, okay? They saw the prophecies concerning who he was and how he was coming, but did not understand what he was speaking about, because what they thought was that, another, a Messiah would come and what he would free them immediately from the Roman captivity, and as soon as he came, the kingdom would come immediately after that. What they don't understand, they actually had to come a first time and a second time, okay? The first time that he came, he would what? He will be crucified, he put to death, okay? Die for our sins. And the second time that he comes, he will come with what? Great judgment, okay? To judge the whole earth. Because they did not understand, how Messiah was to come as first. When Yahushua came, they did not believe that he was. They didn't want to accept him, really accept him as the Messiah, because what? First and foremost, first and foremost, they weren't right, okay? The Pharisees were going off, and the Pharisees at that time, the unrighteous ones, they were going off on a lot of things. They were going to scriptures. What Yahushua said, I told you that what? You should beware of the living of the Pharisees. You should beware of the. Let me get that precepts. I believe that is Matthew 21. So okay, I'm not Matthew 21. I don't try Matthew 22. Okay, here it is. Matthew 23, so yeah, Matthew 23. And then because this is the book of Matthew 23 verse 1, I have to be everything because it's a little bit long. But then I read a little bit of it, but just to show you, the scribes and the Pharisees during that time, okay, they were hypocrites. They weren't keeping they weren't keeping the laws of the Most High, righteously and sincerely, okay. They were just doing it for what? So now let me read it on in the book of Matthew. Let me read this. Alright, so you can hear it straight from the scriptures. Matthew 23 verse 1, and it reads, "Then speaking Yahushua to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Oh, therefore, whatever they bid you, observe, that observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves do not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments." That's exactly what the Pharisees were doing. They were all hypocrites, okay? So let me keep on reading. Let me jump down. Matthew 23 verse 15. "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, woe unto ye blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifieth the gold?" Right, that is basically what the Pharisees were doing in that time. They were performing hypocrisies, okay? They were only focused on the carnality. They were only focused on the carnal things. They were all about the flesh, but they weren't focusing on the spirit. That's why they were so against Yahushua, because he was testified against them, okay? John 7 verse 7, that their works were evil, that they were not all together righteous, that they were hypocrites, okay? And they pretended to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahushua when men, they were looking at them, when they were speaking, they also they were the sin of men. They weren't all about that life, that they didn't have the Most High in all their thoughts. Their whole concern wasn't about how to please Yahushua, but rather how to please men, how to look like a great, how to look like a great prophet or a great man of the Lord before men, but not before Yahushua. They weren't trying to be perfect in the ways of Yahushua, but rather they were trying to be seen as perfect in the ways of Yahushua by men, okay? Which is why they don't have the understanding of how Yahushua was supposed to come. Coming to they said that he would come first and foremost to die, to die for our sins. That's written in the book of Isaiah 53, of course, and the apostles also quoted that as well, okay? And then of course it's come time, Isaiah 66 verse 16. I said that what So okay, let me get that. Isaiah 66 verse 16. For by fire and by a sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So they are focused on was the second, was this is coming again, because they believe that immediately that Yahweh will come back, that he would deliver, that he would come back with what, from the clouds with great, the chariots and with great glory, and deliver our people from the Romans. But what they did not understand was first and foremost that the Son of Man had not yet had come to work together the lost of the scattered sheep of Israel. He was going to he had to gather of the northern and southern kingdom. He has to gather all that was lost. Because that was the purpose of Yahweh coming. To gather the sheep that were lost, to gather the Israelites, the elect that were lost, okay, that were separated from their heritage. Because going into Jeremiah, I believe like it's okay, I can't remember the exact precept anymore. I have to go to it, so okay, I can't remember the exact precept anymore. I believe like it's 7th verse. Okay, Jeremiah 17 verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in my anger which shall burn forever. So that is the so our people were separated, scattered, right, to all the four corners of the earth. And there are so many other places I could go into concerning that, but that's not what I'm focused on right now, okay? So the Most High Yahweh was come back to what? He was come back to gather those that were lost. He was come back to let me get that. Here it is. Alright, look of Matthew chapter 18. I look at Matthew chapter 18 verse 11 when I read. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost, okay? And this is going into the parable of the 100 sheep, one going astray, and the shepherd leaving his 99 sheep, just after that one going astray. And when he finds that sheep, I want to read that, because I have so many other things I want to get. Right, so the book of Luke chapter 19, I read from verse 9, and it reads, and Yahweh said unto him, this day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is the son, and also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost, okay? And what was lost? Our people, okay? So, our people as a whole, okay? The whole of the Hebrew Israelites, both the northern and southern kingdom, because even if we are, even if you know an Israelite, okay, you want to serve the Most High, correctly, you want to serve the Most High in spirit and in truth, in the full understanding of how to serve Yahweh because that understanding was sealed. Okay, you have to remember the book of I believe that Isaiah 29, where it talks about how the understanding of the scriptures will be like unto you a book that is sealed. Okay, let me get that as well. Here it is. Isaiah 29 verse 11, and it reads, and the vision, Isaiah 29 verse 11, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee, and he saith, I cannot, but for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee, and he saith, I am not learned. Okay, that's exactly what is going on. That's exactly what happened, okay, during the time of our shy. All the books were sealed, okay, the knowledge of the understanding of the scriptures was sealed. up until Yahushua came and he released that seal. He opened that understanding. That's the only reason why, okay, we have this truth today. Why you have men of the Most High, the prophets, coming up and bringing out this word, because the understanding of the books, okay, the understanding of the scriptures, of the prophecies were sealed. And so although Yahushua has to come back and unseal them, he has to come back and, you know, he has to die for our sins. Because what the scripture tell you that what? Okay, that we as a people, okay, we could not fulfill the old covenant, okay, the old covenant which the Most High had given us through Moses. We did not fulfill the covenant according to the law of Moses, because we were not perfect in that way. We constantly broke the law, okay, we were constantly going off. So that's how somebody that would come as, you know, so that's the way that has to go, give sacrifices. So let me get that. You know, that's why, alright, Yahushua was the, that was what made Yahushua a perfect sacrifice. Okay, going to the book of Hebrews chapter 7. Right? Here it is, going to the book of Hebrews chapter 7, and after from verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. And it is yet far more evident for that after the similitude of Melchizedek, that there ariseth another priest, who is made not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life. For he testifieth, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So Yahushua was the last high priest, okay, and he was the greatest sacrifice for our people, because what? He's an eternal sacrifice, okay, for all our sins. So now, you know, whenever we go off, whenever we sin, we can go straight to forgiveness. We can get forgiveness straight from the Most High, straight from Yahushua, without having to go through his sin offering, without having to go through his peace offering, because Yahushua was that sin offering. That's why he's called the Lamb of the Most High, okay, because his coming down wasn't to come down, you know, to deliver our, you know, his coming down wasn't to come down to, you know, to bring our people out of and bring down his kingdom. His coming was to what? Deliver our people first and foremost from our greatest enemy, okay? Because what is the greatest enemy of the Israelites? It's not you know, the greatest carnal enemy, okay? The greatest enemy in the world right now is Esau. But of course, our greatest enemy would be sin, okay? Would be iniquity, going off and being separated from Yahushua. Because you know, you go off once, and that's separating from the Most High straight up. But you know, dealing with Edomites doesn't, alright, separating from Yahushua. Because of course you can have Edomite concubines, okay, you can have Edomite slaves, you can deal with them in that way. But dealing with sin, you know, once you fall into sin, right, that's separation from the Most High immediately. Because what the scripture said, that the Most High cannot, you know, the Most High cannot dwell in a place where there is iniquity. The Most High cannot dwell where there is unrighteousness. So Yahushua's first mission was to what? To defeat sin. Okay, by coming down on the earth as a man and fulfilling all the law, fulfilling all the law perfectly, you know, so that he could be the perfect sacrifice for sin. Because what the scripture say, and I believe that is 1 John 4 verse 5. All have sinned and I don't think that's it, but let me just make sure. All have sinned. Quickly get that. There it is. Romans 3 verse 23. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. That's basically it right there, okay? Another preacher that goes at words. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us, because we go off every day, okay? We go off, you know, constantly, because we cannot keep righteous, we cannot keep the law, okay? We cannot keep the law perfectly, because you know that it's not in us. Because even the Apostle Paul says that what? To do good and to do the will of the Most High is in me. Okay, but the power, you know, the ability to do that good, let me get that. okay. I'm trying to bring it out. Okay. Let me try. I'm trying to put that preset. They said that they are supposed to that word that you know that he word that is yeah, let me just summarize it to what the spirit is being willing but the flesh is weak. Okay, because I'm supposed to that word that to do the will of, the will of the Most High is always in his heart. Okay, but the power to do that will, okay, the power to perform that will is not in him. That's which is why our Lord Yahushua came the first time. Okay, not to die for our, not to die for our sins. Okay, so that even when we go off, and even though those times where we know the flesh wins. We and we go off, the Most High will have mercy on us because that sacrifice of our Lord Yahushua. And of course, we already know that the new covenant is coming. Okay, the new covenant is coming in which we won't have to worry about going off ever again. But that new covenant could only be fulfilled once again by our Lord Yahushua performing coming out on the earth for the first time and fulfilling that law. That was the only way which any covenant could be fulfilled because what? Death had to be defeated, okay? The man had to come out on the earth and show that, and defeat death in order to gain that new body, okay? So Lord Yahushua was the first one to receive, okay, his new body because he's the only begotten, the one true son of the Most High, the one true son of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's why they call him what, the only begotten son of the Most High, because he was directly created by Yahweh Hashem. And this is going into the Christian story. He was directly created by Yahweh, the Most High. And then through Yahweh Shai, he created everything else, okay? The saints, the worlds, and everything, as he just says. Through his son, through his word, he created the worlds, okay? Going to what the worlds being the different nations, okay? So now continuing on, and I was saying, what I was talking about was how Yahweh spoke about his coming, and how during that time, majority of the Israelites did not understand what I was speaking about because what they did not understand that all the important things that Yahweh was put on the earth during that time to do. They don't understand how much Yahweh actually came down on the earth to do, which of course was even was of equal importance as bringing his kingdom because what he was preparing the way for his kingdom. He was preparing, right, for his kingdom to be established. With what the whole of the nation of Israel being brought back to this through a remnant, through the elect. Okay, and secondly, in order to provide a way for our people to come out to the Most High, which is through Yahweh, through his sacrifice. God is just say, that he is the way, the truth, and the life, and no man can come to the Father except through him. So through Yahweh we can have that relationship with Yahweh, okay, with the Most High again. That's why we say Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, okay. The Most High name of his son Yahweh. That's why it's important to know these two names, okay. Because you have some camps that don't want to push those names, but that's beside the point. So let's not focus on that. Alright, so we see the sacrifice that Yahweh made for our people. Okay, in order to bring us back to our heritage, bring us back to our understanding, give us knowledge of the Most High, so that we can actually have a chance to be saved, have a chance to be delivered when it comes back, when it comes back the second time. And now what are we doing? We are waiting is coming, okay, with faith and diligence, the word and the truth, the 100% truth that he has given us. We are awaiting his return, so that we will be delivered from this wicked ass world and this wickedness that is in this kingdom, the wickedness of Esau, okay, the wickedness of the heathen, all this wickedness that they are perpetuating, they are pushing forth in this kingdom, the unrighteous decrees, okay, the wines and the philosophies, the doctrines that are all just nonsensical, that has brought this whole earth to its knees, and made the world and the wilderness, that has made the whole of creation to groan. That's what we're waiting to be delivered from right now, okay? All this, wickedness, all this evil. And we already know that the Bible says that the Most High and his son Yahushua will come back and we will do all these things, okay? Like for example, going to the book of Psalms chapter 2, the second chapter. This is about what Why do the heathen rage and nation? Imagine a vain thing, okay? Imagine what the continuation of this kingdom, and this kingdom will continue up until the world is destroyed. That's not going to be the case. Imagine what this heathen have a chance to come up and become the next rulers or the next rulers of this kingdom. That's not the case, man, because the next kingdom shall be given unto Yahushai. I'm going to the book of Daniel, the second chapter. It says that what it shall not be left to other people, the saints. All right, let me get that precept, because this is actually a good way to go into the next thing I want to talk about. Okay. Now let me ask you no. I have to get something. I have to get that word saint in the blue letter. Book of Daniel. I'm getting a little bit wobbly here. But anyway, I'm just going to keep on going until I'm done. Alright, so the book of Daniel chapter 2. I think we jump down to that is the 41st to the 51st. So okay, I went Daniel 7. Alright, Daniel is the 7th chapter. And this is it right here. Daniel 7 verse 18, and it reads, but the saints of the most, okay, let me start from the 17. Daniel 7 verse 17. Daniel 7 verse 17. These great beasts which are four kings which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Right? That is who is going to inherit this kingdom. The saints of the Most High, starting with Yahushai up unto the elect. So now I'm going to get a letter for the word saints. Right? So, okay, hold on, let me just. That's why I need to unplug my get my phone. Very quickly. Real quick, just I don't want. Just to make sure that it's there. It's still working properly. Alright, don't want to kill the battery of my power bank. Because what you have is constant blackouts in this country, right? No stable electricity. Just to make sure that you have to make sure that I always charge all my devices before I start doing all these kind of camps. That's the main reason why I didn't do any video yesterday. Mostly because I was super tired yesterday. Of course, there were blackouts all throughout yesterday, so I don't want to waste any of my phone battery life for camp today. And this shows you that Israel in tampering the scripture, because what you have is the word saints, which goes back to a Greek and Latin word in the Old Testament, okay? And the word saint is actually goes back to the Greek and Latin, but what the word here is Kadash, which of course you should already know that the word Kadash means holy. Okay, so that word saint goes back to is holy. Holy separates, okay? And holy separates angels and saints. So if you want to talk about a holy people on the earth, a separate people that are angels, people that are saints, who are you speaking about? Let's just go into. Okay. So okay. Let's just go into that a little bit right now, okay? Let's just go into that a little bit real quick. The holy and the saint, the sanctified people. Okay. Guys, I read the book of Deuteronomy. Alright, so this is the book of Deuteronomy 14, and I'll start from verse 1. Deuteronomy 14 verse 1, and it reads, ye are the children of Yahweh, your power. You shall not out yourselves, nor make any boldness between your eyes for the dead. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. And who is he speaking to? He's speaking to who? Israel, the Israelites, okay? Hear, O Israel, okay? Shema Yasharala, Yahweh Alayanawa, Yahweh Achad. Right, that's the Shema prayer right there. I believe that is I can't remember the exact pieces, so I'm going to have to look for it. Okay, here it is. Deuteronomy 6 verse 4. The Shema prayer. Deuteronomy 6 verse 4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh your power is one is one is one Yahweh. If I have to say that accurately. So that's why you say that word Shemaiah Sharala, hear, O Israel, Yahweh Alayanawa, Yahweh your power, which is Alayanawa, our power, okay? Is one power. Yahweh Achad. And that Achad is what? The Hebrew word for one. Alright, so that is the Shema prayer right there. I speak about what the Israelites. So the holy people, the saints that are going to inherit the kingdom are the Israelites, which is what we always speak about. We always speak of. That the only people that are getting this salvation, the only people that Yahushua came for, are the Israelites. The saints of the Most High are the Israelites, okay? The chosen, the elect are the Israelites. Alright, let me get that precept. Alright, Isaiah 45 verse 4. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. Okay, so let me get the letter for the word elect from the Old Testament, and it is Bachayar. And the word Bachayar means what? It means chosen, choice one, chosen one, the elect of the Most High. So the only people that qualify to be the elect are the Israelites. So it's not no all who come before all who come before the Most High, or all who accept bloody Jesus as their God and Savior. No, it's not none of that. Okay, you have to be an Israelite before you can even get into this truth. And even if you are an Israelite, that does not automatically make you a member of the elect. Okay, you have to be what? Part of that remnant. Okay, that one thread that is going to be saved. Okay, that has been chosen from the beginning of the world and is going to be delivered. You have to what? Give diligence, make your calling and election sure. You have to what? Follow the, keep the laws. Okay, keep the laws. Okay, search the scriptures. Okay, follow the testimony and be a disciple of Yahweh Shai. Alright, that is the only way in which you can actually have a chance to be of the elect, okay, to be of the chosen. Right? Because it's not by race or nationality, but by what? By your faith and by your belief in this word and by your works, okay? Because it's not just by it's not by nationality, okay? It's not by nationality, it's not by your religion. And it's not solely by faith, okay? Because what? Faith and works, they go hand in hand. That's just like what? Faith without works is dead. Because how can you prove that you have faith if you don't have works to back it up? How can you say that you have faith how can you say that you are doing the work if you don't have faith, in the work that you are doing? Because if you do this, if you have faith but you don't do the works, that's not true faith. That's not real faith. If you do the work and you say that you don't, and if you did the work without faith, eventually you are going to start doing the work and going to fall off. That's why so many of these men that are out here, they endure for a little season, as it just said. But when but when the devil comes in with his temptations and with his tribulations, they are offended for the word's sake and they wither, and the truth that is in them withers away and they fall off. So you see so many men, they fall off, they go off, they bug out, they start their own thing, but then eventually they fall out, they stop doing the work because what? The word endured for a little season, and then after that, they lost the faith. They became offended and they basically they left. Right? They fell off and they left. They say what? What does pushing this word, okay? What does being this truth have to benefit me anymore? but us that are the hopefully left, okay? Hoping to be the saints of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. open to receive this salvation, because only those that are the elect, only those that endure unto the end shall be saved, as the scripture says. But they who endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Okay, only those are the only people that will be of the elect, those are the only people that will be saved in last. Those are the only of the elect that will be saved, and those people are the Israelites. That's why I say that what the saints of the Most High are the elect. The saints of the Most High are the Israelites, right? And only the Israelites can be the elect. Only those of the nation of Israel can be the elect. That's just what does say the Bible. Does say Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so make it as well in the book of Amos. Alright, the book of Amos 3 verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your Saka. Let me start from verse 1. Amos 3 verse 1. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt. Okay? So right there is a cut on, first and foremost, that belief, that some of these jakes have, that they were, that these jakes here in Nigeria have, that they are Israelites, but they are a line of the Israelites that left, that's left separate from Moses. Because what he's saying, that he's speaking about it, that he's telling you that what the only people that received the covenant, that received the law of Moses, was the people that left with that left Moses, that left Egypt with Moses, which were all of the Israelites. Okay, the whole nation. Alright, there wasn't any fallout group that decided to stay in Egypt, or any fallout group that decided to migrate to the western part of Africa. That's not the case, okay? Everybody was in Israel with Moses left with Moses, okay? To continue on. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities, okay? Showing you that was the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, is only dealing with the Israelites, because he only has eyes for them. He only sees the Israelites as his people. That's why going back to Psalm chapter 2. Why do the heathen rage and people imagine a vain thing? And the word vain means what? This. Let me get that definition. Let me not say it out loud. Let me get the definition. So I thought you can hear it straight from the dictionary, okay? And this is the offline dictionary, offline Oxford. Okay, the word vain. And it means overly proud of oneself, especially concerning appearance, having a high opinion of one's own accomplishments with slight reason, effecting no purpose, pointless. So what you hear and imagine right now in this case would be that they can be saved. Okay, actually went on the cross to die for you. That's pointless. That's a vain thing that you're imagining right there, okay? It's pointless. It has no roots. There is no reason for you to even imagine that, because there's nowhere in the scriptures that says that Yahweh died for the heathen. That the heathen are coming to the truth. Because you have to remember, majority of the heathen, okay, they're even banned from entering into the temple or entering into any of our heritage, okay? The Edomites, the Amalekites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, banned, okay, from even coming into this, from even worshiping Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The Moabites and Ammonites to their 10th generation, okay? The Amalekites, the Edomites, they have been profaned. They are the people of the Most High's cause through that leprosy, because that a leprous person is officially unclean, okay? And these people have a curse by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because and I don't even need to go to these precepts, okay? We already know that leprous skin is a curse from the Most High, man. Because in the kingdom, after the Edomites are exterminated, after that 1,000 years of slavery, nobody is going to be leprous anymore. Everybody is going to have, everybody is going to be dark skinned, so called. Alright, so I cannot mean so called. Everybody is going to be dark skinned, so called black in the kingdom. Not with the woolly hair and everything, with the beard on their face, because everybody in the kingdom is going to have a beard everybody is going to have a beard in the kingdom. There's not going to be any exception, except for the women, of course. But all men will have beards, okay? And this again shows you how Christianity is going off. Because you're required by the laws of Yahweh Hashem to always have a beard on your face, okay? I believe that is the book of Leviticus 19, verse 27. You're not meant to shave the beard on your face, you have to leave it to grow, alright? That's once again going to the book of Ezekiel 44. I believe that's the 23rd verse. Alright, that especially if you are a priest, if you are a commander of the law, you're not meant to even touch or trim the beard on your hair, man. The hairs on your beard, man. But you see, this Christian pastor, you see the Pope, you see TD fakes, you see all these Daddy Gio in Nigeria, you see all of them, bold faced with the suit and the tie. You know that ank on their, with the ank on their neck, that tie that represents what the phallic symbol. Alright, going back to what Egypt, you sit on your neck. You can also already clearly see from their appearance, right, that these are not men of the Most High. Because first and foremost, they are bald faced, okay, no beards. They now wear, an ankh, a phallus on their, symbolizing pagan worship. And then when they open their mouth, that's what ends it right there. But once they open their mouth, you see that these people don't have any understanding of the scriptures, okay? They don't know anything about what the scriptures is talking about. They're just talking out of their own vain understanding, okay? Because that's all these pastors do. They bring out some preachers from time to time. But all they do with those preachers, this is exactly what IUIC is doing, okay? With this whole marriage certificate thing. The IUIC, and you hate to say it, man. I don't really want to get on IUIC because they have been pushing this word longer than I have, which I don't really do much with big videos. But man, IUIC, man, you're acting like the Christian church. The IUIC is acting like the Christian church a lot right now, because what are they doing? They are changing the words of the Most High. They are changing the truth of your heart, but you are shining to a lie, corruptible lies. By telling you that words. The new doctrine is that you need a legal document, a legally binding document to prove they are married to your wife. But that legal document, they are telling you that you have to get it from Esau. From Esau. All right. So when I first said it, I was like, oh, IUIC, I don't want to think, When I heard that they said you have to get that document from Esau, of all people, it's not like it's Bishop Nathaniel that's signing the document himself, or it's not like it's Bishop Nathaniel that is doing the document, Then you could have just I just left that just IUIC being IUIC. But they are telling you that I have to be legally recognized as husband and wife according to Esau. According to Esau, how ridiculous is that? That the children of the Most High are going to these devils. Alright, I'm going to these devils, for counsel. Because that's basically what it is, okay? Say that you are truly, the Most High actually did, because it does not. That's going off right there, okay? Telling our people to go. That's basically what he's trying to, slowly condition our people to trust in Egypt. Because that's exactly what Bishop Nathaniel is doing with this whole marriage counseling thing. Okay, let's change it right there that IUIC is set up, okay? That's just straight right is set up, because what Bishop Nathaniel is doing is slowly conditioning our people into believing that, okay, you have to go to Esau for this, go to Esau for that, go to Esau for one of all things, which is going off, man. You don't need which is going off, okay? Because you already know from the courses that yes, we will go to our enemy, which are the Edomites, one of all things. But to tell our people that you need Esau to do something according to the law of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right, that's going off right there, okay? We don't need these devils, in order to bind a woman as husband and wife, okay? Because what the Most High already told you everything you need to know. Okay, the book of Exodus, I believe that is the 22nd chapter, the 16th verse. Okay, Exodus 22, verse 16. Exodus 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. And this word endow actually goes back to the Hebrew word for bride price, for dowry. Because that's actually what this word means. It just means what? To pay the woman's husband, because of what? You have humbled his property. You have humbled his daughter, his property. Okay, first and foremost, a woman that is not betrothed, so nobody's fiancé, a virgin that has no husband, okay? You shall endow her, and the word endow is mahar. Mahar, meaning what? Okay, to obtain or acquire by paying purchase price, give a dowry, obtain in exchange. So that word is what? So in other words, the only thing that the only binding process that you're supposed to go through in order to get a wife is what? To pay the bride price, okay, to pay the dowry. And I'm pretty damn sure that IYC doesn't insist, okay, that before you marry in that congregation, before you marry, if you remember what IYC, before you marry, you have to pay the woman's father, okay, or the woman's family a bride price or a dowry, whatever thing you want to use. You don't have to marry that woman. I'm sure the IYC doesn't insist on that, okay? All they care about is what? Just get a legally binding piece of paper from Esau, because of that shit, so that what? You can get your house divorced and you can take 50% of what you own later on. This is showing that IYC is set up, man, because they are feeding Esau's family court system right there, okay? That's the reason why they are pushing this thing, okay? Because I don't see any other reason why IYC will come out with this doctrine. Unless they are trying to feed Esau's divorce system. And then you see more and more, these Israel camps, man, they're getting more and more ridiculous with their doctrines, okay? How can how can you bring out documents concerning signing and think that it involves marriage license, the marriage licenses? When those things, when a marriage license, okay, a document for marriage wasn't even established until what the 1800s? Was it what the 1800s? It wasn't even established until the 1800s. When people got married, and all they had was just the ceremony for the ceremony for what was the word I'm looking for? They just had a ceremony just to show that okay, you are married. That was what the marriage ceremony was for. But everybody knew what the real meat and potatoes was, okay? Everybody knew what the real marriage was. That's why they have a term called consummating the marriage, okay? So what I'll do right now, let me get the etym for that word, consummate. Yeah, because here I go to study, okay, we deal with the meaning of words. That's why you had a thing called consummating the marriage, because you could do all you could pay all the bride price you want. Okay, you could give out the biggest ring in the whole world, the biggest diamond in the whole world. You could have the most flashy ass marriage ceremony. You could even have these devils come and officiate your marriage and give you all the paperwork you want. But if you haven't broken that hymen, okay, taking that woman as your wife, really, and that's another word, you took her as your wife. That word, that's that grab right there, that rape right there. That was to grab. Alright, if you haven't laid with her, or if you haven't actually taken her as your wife and lie with her, that's not your wife, okay? Because you still have to do something called consummating the marriage. So let me get the etym for that word, consummate. And I never plan on talking about this, I was just I just remember that I was watching the elder go into this, so I just had to go into that. I just had to go into the little bit. I don't know how to spell the word consummate. It has a double M. Imagine that. Right, what is it with the word consummate? Complete, perfect, carried to the most extent. And from the Latin, consummatus, meaning perfected, complete. So in other words, you are perfecting the marriage, you are completing the marriage ceremony. And how do you complete it? By lying with that woman, okay? By endowing by lying with that woman. And once you do that, man, by law, you are required by law, okay, to make her your wife. Now, and how do you make her your wife? Only two steps. Alright, to give the woman's father, the wages for the wife, the price, whatever price he gives you in order to marry the woman, and then what, you lie with her. That's how you make a woman your wife. Alright, that is all you need. No, that's whatever Nathaniel is telling you about, okay? So I'm getting ready to close out. So let me just get a few more presets, okay? So yeah. Alright, so let me just get a few more presets. Let me just finish up, okay? So done talking about IYC and their normal, their usual misbehavior. So I want to get the definition of the word saint, the Strong's Concordance according to the Greek, because we already know what the word saints means in the Hebrew. Bachayar, the same as the elect. So the elect are the saints, and the saints are the elect, and the elect are the remnant of the Hebrew, the 144,000, the 1/3. Those are the elect. So that means that the saints are the 144,000, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Okay. So that means that what by extrapolation, the elect and the saints are the same group of people. Bachayar, meaning what? That the saints and the elect can only be Israelites. You're not going to have no Moabites or Ammonites among the 1/3, okay? Unless of course they look like Moabites or they look like Ammonites. That's the only case. But they are Israelites. Okay, so you can't call them Moabites or Ammonites because they will be of the tribes of Israel according to their respective. They will be according to their respective tribes of Israel. So let me get the let me close out with this I see a good one here. Book of Romans chapter 1, NASB. Sakya. Alright, book of Romans chapter 1. And I'll start from I'll just read this. What the hell is going on? So okay, this letter is changing my the version of the Bible I'm using. I'll read like that. Romans 1 verse 7, and it reads, to all who are beloved of the Most High in Rome, called as saints, grace to you and peace from the Most High our Father and the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. That was Paul wrote to the saints in Rome. The other words, he wrote to the Israelites, okay, the hopeful elect that were in Rome. And he wasn't writing to all the Romans or Christians that happened to be Romans. In other words, Edomite Christians. No, that's not the case, okay? Because Edomite Christians right now are in plantation Christianity, praying unto their white boy Jesus and their white boy God, you know, following after the Greek customs and all that. But this is speaking of who? The Israelites, okay? Israelites that were scattered in Rome. Israelites that were what? Hellenistic. That's what that word Hellen goes back to. I've already done lots of lessons on the word Hellen. But now we have a new lesson right there, which is what the word saints. And let me get that in the letter right. Let me get that in the letter right now. Okay. And the word here is Hagios. G40. Hagios. And it means most holy thing. A saint. So in other words, the holy ones, the holy people, which once again are the Israelites. These are the saints, okay? These are the saints, the Israelites, okay? The Bachayar, the elect. Those are the only people that the Most High is dealing with. The saints of the Most High, according to the Bible, are the Israelites, okay? There is nobody else, okay? Because what the scripture says, the scripture says that what? That we the Israelites are the apple of the Most High's eye. Let me get that. Okay, first one I'll get is the book of Lamentations 2 verse 18, and it reads, Slakia, this thing is carrying me to the NASB version. You know, you see he's playing with my translation of the bulletin right now. So let me just get it in the precepts, let me get it in the physical Bible. Lamentations after Jeremiah. Alright, Lamentations 2 verse 18, and it reads, Lamentations 2 verse 18, and it reads, their hearts cried unto Yahweh, O wall of the daughter of Zion, let tears run down like a river day and night. Give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thine eye cease. And the apple of the Most High's eye is speaking of who? The Israelites. Zion, okay? That's who? The Israelites, okay? So let me get another precept. So, okay, hold on. I'm also going to, I think I should also get that definition of the word. I think I'm also going to get the definition of the word apple of the eye so I can get a better understanding of it. Okay, so the book of Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8, and it reads, Zechariah 2 verse 8, For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye. Alright, so now let me get the definition of that word, apple of his eye. And the word apple of my eye, right? It's not even it's not a word. It's like it's a phrase. It's a phrase or an idiom. It's a phrase or an idiom. So look at the phrase "apple of my eye" refers in English today to something or someone that one cherishes above all others. Originally, the phrase was simply an idiom referring to the pupil of the eye. That is plain right there, okay? Let's say that what? The Most High, of course, you already knew this, okay? And I said that what? You only have I known. That's the book of Amos chapter 3 verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth, okay? Because the Most High, going back to the book of 2nd Ezra 6, the 53rd chapter to the end, the Most High, no, Saka. Let me count on it. I don't think it's 2nd Ezra chapter 6. I don't think it's 2nd Ezra 6, Saka. But I made a mistake there. I made a mistake. But basically, what I'm saying is that, the Most High is showing you that what, out of all the nations, out of all the people that are on the earth, only the Israelites are his main focus, okay? It's only the Israelites that he Most High has eyes for, that he cares about. Okay, so it's only the Israelites that will receive salvation, that will receive all his blessings. All the blessings are written in these scriptures. All the promises of good things, okay, are written in these scriptures are all for who? You Israelites, okay? You Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and of course the scattered of our people. All these promises are for you and you alone. The heathen have no part in this, okay? That's like I was right, I was correct. 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, the 53rd verse, all the way down to the... I know I have to read that now, since I'm already there. Alright, this is the book of 2nd Ezra 6, verse 53. Upon the 6th day, thou givest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and people also of whom thou hast chosen, which are once again the Israelites, okay? And also want to get another precept concerning that, concerning how we are the chosen people, but I forgot how that precept goes. Just talking about that. Alright, well basically, so basically that's all I wanted to get concerning that, so I think I'm just going to end it with that. Alright, so with that I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Rachach, Wadash, Wa, Abad, Babal. And through this meetup, you Akam, you Aqua for 85. With that I'm going to end this lesson, I'm going to end this camp right there. Alright, Shalom.